think when you think about our funerals today, the memorial services today, we're there to remember that life that was lived. We have a funeral, not so much because someone has died, but because they've lived. Many times you'll see a funeral service or a celebration of life that we have, and when we do the slideshow or the PowerPoint, the family have taken part of that, and there'll be wonderful pictures, and you'll hear some laughter, you'll see some tears, and those things are all part of the experience. When someone has died in your family, I think it's so important that you stop, you slow down, you gather as a family, and you take those 5 or 6 days, get everyone together, plan the funeral.
I think what people are learning today is that they're struggling with the thought of, you hear a lot of no service by request, or John didn't want to have a funeral, but you know what? Funerals are for the living. And what we find is, when you're at the grocery store 3 months later and someone comes up to you because they haven't seen you since John passed away, and you're standing there crying in the aisle and hugging your friend, whether it's a memorial reception, whether it's a funeral, whether it's a celebration of life, just gives people a chance to come together and have those moments and have those memories so that it kind of helps you in the future as well.
Funerals are important because there's been a life lived. And it's important to recognize that fact that somebody has been on this earth for 80, 90 some odd years and to really come together and show community support for that grieving family.
Well, certainly it's a combination of factors. Recognizing the loss, being able to formalize that through memorialization and remembering the person and including family, but also community in that act of giving thanks for and saying goodbye to an individual.
A lot of times in society we find people kind of frown upon the crying and to be sad. So I think that a funeral is kind of that escape for people to be able to cry, to be able to feel, to be able to have those emotions.
You kind of miss something if you don't have the funeral. It's almost like, has the person really passed away? Has, there's really no final goodbyes.
Funerals are important to not only memorialize the deceased that has gone on, but also to put the family at ease and give them a chance to express how they felt about their loved one.
It's so important that people from all walks of that person's life actually come together. You know your loved one in a certain way because that's your loved one, but their coworkers know them in a different way, their friends know them in a different way, and to bring all that together and complete that picture is so important.
Whether you call it a funeral, whether you call it a memorial service, a celebration of life, or just a coffee reception, I think it's very important. You as a family may have done your grieving prior to someone passing away. For instance, where it's been a long delayed death, where you've been through palliative care, you have gone through the grieving process. Your friends haven't. And your friends need to grieve with you. They need to cry with you. You might be very strong once the funeral comes along and you think, nope, we've been through it all. Dad doesn't want a funeral, we're fine with it. But allow your friends to grieve with you. Allow them to take time. Allow your family, your cousins, your aunts, uncles to come from far away and get together and have some very precious family time.
The funeral service is so much more than just a process at the end of our life. It's, allowing the family to get together and to get closure, to see your friends and loved ones, to be able to have a cup of coffee with them, have that hug, have that tear, and remember Dad. Faces you know, friends you trust. Martin Brothers since 1907.